Okay, let's go.
Hi
Hi
guys,
guys.
good day, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, anywhere you're watching us.
Yeah.
And welcome to this YouTube channel. Come and we're grateful that you've followed us through to this time. And for some of us that are watching us for the first time, my name is omotodolapo, and yes, my darling husband, Shegun.
Shagun.
And it's really nice to have you here.
Yeah.
So we've had several conversations about her life, about her love story, and all of it. So today we'll be talking on
Yeah.
wedding.
I'm ready.
We've had a lot of questions, and yes, there's also a form under each of our videos where you can ask questions, and we get to answer them. And some of the questions we got has to do with the wedding, how we're able to plan our wedding, how we're able to um maximize all of the resources that we had, how we were able to have an excellent wedding. A lot of people gave us feedback. Gosh, it was beautiful. Our wedding was really beautiful, and we are so grateful for it. You know, almost everybody that had to come to our wedding was asking, "Who is the wedding planner? Who is the wedding planner for this event?" And proudly, the Olanians,
Us.
us. Yes, we planned our wedding ourselves. We planned our wedding ourselves.
Yeah.
And when we were going to start up, almost everybody started asking, "When who is your wedding planner? Who are you going to get for your wedding planning?" And and we're like, we're doing it ourselves and all of that. And then, there was a time when somebody even reached out that she was going to give us free services for wedding plans, and we're like, okay, let's have it. But the first, I think, second day of continuing with this person, we sent the person some of the vendors we've gotten, and she started
Mm.
reaching out to them and then asking some questions that were not necessary, right? And then she also it was just so funny, started putting some of the details of things we discussed on our status, and we got to see it and we just had to say
It's
no,
really serious.
we're not doing again. Nah, 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 we're gonna do this ourselves. So let's move on to what the wedding planning like entailed, some of the things that we're able to prioritize, some of the things that we're able to do that gave us that excellence that we wanted. We got a lot of feedback, like even on social media. Once you
Yeah.
even check my page or check his page at omotodolapo at cyber apostle, you'll be able to see some of the people that even came and some of the things they said, right?
Yeah.
And so it was just really beautiful. It was really beautiful, and I keep reminiscing on those times, those moments on that day, and truly I'm grateful for it. So yeah, how did we get to plan our wedding? I remember that one of the first things we told ourselves was to draw out budgets, right? One of the things we were able to do even before we go to drawing our budget and all. Why did we say okay, we wanted to be our planners by ourselves?
Okay, so right. Our wedding has been, something that we've always like looked forward to. We've always cherished, and
Mm.
also we had a picture in our head. We had a
Yeah.
picture in our head, and we strongly believed that um, we would be the best, in like bringing that picture to life, in painting the picture the way we wanted it to look like the blueprint, bringing it to life. So, and my wife here is a very good manager. She has worked on different projects where she managed projects on events,
I mean, I've
like
planned global events.
so. I really wanted us to like pick her brain on that regard.
Our brain, because The man did a lot. Like, no,
you
he did
know,
a lot.
wanted us to pick our brain on that okay, bring that your expertise to planning a wedding, and let's own it, right? Let's own it, and let's bring every detail of the pixel of the picture that we have in our head. Let's bring it to life, and yeah, and that was what we did. I only supported. She was the project lead, so I was only a support, a support in this. She was the one, reaching out to vendors, looking for vendors before even reaching herself. She was the one looking for vendors, trying to look online, Instagram, and every other places, sourcing for vendors and all of that, communicating with them. I, on the other end, was just, supporting with my encouragement. So yeah, that
Yeah,
was the reason why we, said, oh, we don't want the plan. We want to plan it ourselves, and own it, and be able to talk about it for people who are looking forward to also planning their weddings themselves.
yeah. So, would you say that at the end of it all, we were able to get through to the style we wanted? Would you say that we're able to achieve some of the things that we wanted to achieve?
Yeah, so I would say that we were able to achieve most of the things that we wanted to
Yeah, most.
achieve, because we didn't just have a blueprint. We also had like action plans, right,
Yeah,
to actualizing, bringing the blueprint to
yeah.
life. So we broke it into, and we can say we started early also. First, I think we started earlier, the planning and all of
Hey, we
that.
didn't start early,
Not
babe.
like not executing now.
Because everybody that we had to talk to that already did in 2 months.
Not
They're like,
not
how do you want to do
executing,
it?
not executing, but the planning, like drawing the blueprint and all of that,
Now, babe,
is 6 months, not early.
have we been able to do our budget? Have we been able to even get vendors by 6 months? Everything started from
Mm.
like January. January
And then we
after,
had the wedding in April.
and we had the wedding in
That's like
April.
4 months,
Which 4 months?
three
That's
months
like
and
two
some.
or 3 months.
So yeah, okay. I would say that what helped us was we were focused and we were intentional,
Yeah. And
right?
we worked on a larger
Yeah,
level because
we
everybody we had to tell that we're planning wedding and is in this time. They're like, have you been planning it?
and to be very honest, God really helped us, because getting like a venue
Mm-hmm.
was a pin on our in our throat. That
Yeah.
venue
So yeah, we started with looking for
venue
venue. We had our budget already. We had our budget for everything we wanted to do. We listed it out already, you know. And I think I want to mention that we are willing to actually help couples that need help, even with their plannings or probably need tips and all of that. But that would be like in a very structured way, so you might need to like fill a form or something so that we can be able to know how to help out much more, right? So basically we had to look into our budget and then look at venues that we can get to use. The fact that we had to use Lagos and like the heart of Lagos, Yaba
yeah,
area,
yeah, yeah.
it was a struggle because things are really, really expensive. Things are really expensive, and the prices that we're seeing for oils and all were like, ha,
More,
do
more.
we want to really spend this much for oil? And we had to look for venue. We had to look into the vendors, people that we know that can deliver like solid work, and not break our bank too, right? And we invested so much
In
in
relationships.
relationships. Yeah, we're very intentional about asking questions, asking people that have done it ahead or have gone ahead and done their wedding plans. We're intentional about making use of people that the people recommend, and then be sure that they actually know their onions. So one thing I remember that we got to do again was being intentional about the kind of vendors we wanted.
Yeah,
We're very intentional about the kind of vendors. We're very intentional about making sure that we didn't just want people that wanted to just come and play with our emotions or something. And one thing I actually learned from This vendor sourcing is that not all vendors are your friends, or let's say vendors are not your friends.
Mm, I would say that not all vendors align with your plans or aligns with what you want to achieve,
Yeah.
right? So it's just like sourcing for new employees or trying to hire for a new role. Organizations have cultures that they are looking for somebody that fits into the culture, even though the person is technically sound, right? So
Mm-hmm.
um, most vendors are very good. We have a lot of good vendors, like part their job, but sometimes they may not fit into what you are looking for, or what your plans, what you are looking forward to achieving. So
Mm.
yeah, so it's best to like look out for vendors that actually fit in to
Yeah.
your own taste and to
Yeah.
what you are looking forward to
Looking
achieving.
forward
Yeah.
to, yeah. And for from our dressing, we had to search for vendors for our showcase. Shout out to you, Jumola Shoki. And then thankfully I have my sister. Her name is Lawal-Olaniyan. She's the CEO for Styled by a
Okay.
Guy. She styled myself, styled my husband.
Yeah.
I also come to that thanking again. Then we had like a lot of people that came through to making sure that, and then our photography, we had about two photographers. We had Spy Signature, we had EMP Pixels, and they brought their A
Amazing,
game.
amazing
No, they
people,
were so
amazing work,
good. They're so good.
amazing work.
When EMP sent the pictures, and the first batch of it, I was just crying that no, I'm
Yeah,
happy that this did not just go under the carpet. Our pre-wedding shoot by EMP
was
beautiful,
was top notch.
was
It was
beautiful.
excellent.
I know all those things just give us that ginger that this wedding say,
Yeah,
Wagba. But it was good. It was good. So moving on to, yeah, we talked a bit about budget. We can still talk more if you need our help on it, right? We'll move on to the place of deco, right? One of the things that we're intentional about was getting somebody that has like good taste, and we had an idea of what we wanted. When we reached out to the decorator, she gave us a sketch and all of that. We corrected some of the things we wanted, and she went with it, and she was so amazing too. What other thing did we get to do?
yeah. Apart from deco, I think content creation. Oh my God! Shout out to Debbie. Shout out
Yeah, through
to
Deb Dance.
True Deb Lens, right?
Yeah, that's a brand
That's
name.
her brand name. Please check her out. She
Yeah,
was
through
no,
Deb
she
Lens.
was
Like
amazing. Like Debbie was giving life update
life
with
updates.
we were busy with
We're busy
the
with a
wedding
lot
and
of
all of
things.
that. She was like
And you think
dropping.
that probably I was the one posting and all.
No. She owned it, and no,
Carried it like.
it was amazing. It was
Yeah,
amazing.
we had several content creators.
Yeah,
Oluwakemi came through,
yeah. Kemi came
Coffee,
through.
we had the Molukoya, you
Yeah.
know, we had somebody that we had people that we know that they loved us for who we were and
Mm,
wanted to be sure that we were happy, right?
mm.
And that was something that we were really grateful for. And then we also looked at the hotel that we had to use. It was just a lot, to be honest.
It was a lot. Like we had to get like hotels that were closer to the venue
Yeah,
of
we're
both the
intentional about
church
that.
and the reception. So
That was close to the venue, and we made sure that our church was not far to the
yeah,
reception.
yeah,
Everything was just working hand in hand.
yeah.
Then for the food, we had to just leave it to family,
Mm.
majorly that okay, you people.
Chef Debola.
Chef Devola, that's my sister, my
So yeah, she
darling
went
sister.
all out. Like she was not physically present for most
The
part of the
planning,
planning, but like from where she was moving things. She was
yeah, making sure.
making sure that things,
Yeah,
when it
I
comes to
remember I
food and all of
recommended
that.
my friend's mom, that Damin's mom. Shout
Yeah.
out to you, ma. And
No, no.
she came through with a lot of
She
things,
came
making
through
sure that. a lot of things were sorted out,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So yeah, all in all, I think we leverage heavily on relationship,
Yeah.
and we also look out for vendors that actually fit into our plans,
Yeah.
what we're looking for, like the picture we have in our head,
Mm-hmm.
vendors that had the attitude, the right attitude, and the right, initiative to actually support what we're looking for. So
Yeah.
I think those are those are the things that really helped.
And I think one thing I'm super, 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 super grateful for is the place of favor, right? You know, proud to the wedding time. You know, when they asked us, "Are you sure you want to get married now?" You're like, maybe in like 3 years, 4 years time. But immediately we made sure that okay, we wanted to get married. Immediately we fixed dates and all of that. You know, we were showered with a lot of favor. You know, family came through. My brother-in-law came through. My
Yeah,
sister, my friends, my his family, his
yeah.
brothers, like a lot of
A
people
lot
came
of
through, his
people came
sister, like
through,
just
like
I don't know, it was
the
so
I
good.
know it's like a lot of, how many people do you even want to mention? Like a lot of people came through that, God just raised men. And I think
Men,
that's another thing you should be praying for, that
yeah,
God raises men for
men for
you,
you, yeah.
and all. Yeah,
No, it's a
yeah.
very powerful
It's
prayer,
a
like
powerful
very
prayer you should
powerful
pray,
prayer that
because
God
that will make things easier,
easier.
right? It will
Mm-hmm.
take off some burdens off your
Of
neck,
you.
and yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's another major point
Highlight for
highlight
us,
for us.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. And so some of the things that we might even want to talk about, yes, knowing we know the cost and all of that, but it was covered, like
Mm,
it was
mm,
covered, like
mm. When we're looking at our budget, and we were looking at, it is where, but God came through. Like God came through. God came through. That's what we can say in all of this. God came through. And
mm-hmm,
people showed up for us.
mm-hmm,
We bless God for that, and you should also pray,
mm-hmm.
for that kind of favor. I think for now, that's it for now. If
Yeah,
you have
so
any
if you,
question,
I think our advice for couple first, know what you want, be very intentional about what you want, and try not to, because some vendors will even want you to probably change your mind to something
yeah,
and all of that, try something lesser and all of that, but be sure about what you want, be intentional about it. And then, secondly, always pray, like be intentional about praying, you and your partner be intentional about praying about things that you want to see happen. And then thirdly, be intentional about your budget, right? As much as things are expensive, there are still ways you can
of
do
course,
things,
yeah,
prioritize things.
things,
For us, we prioritize peace over perfection. We prioritize peace over wanting to impress
yeah,
anybody. We
yeah,
were very intentional about that,
yeah,
and we had a lot of fun. We didn't just go with the norm. We didn't just go with let's just try and do this, let's just try and thankfully I'm even grateful for the kind of church I attend. You know, I attended Delight Arena. It's not just the church that you just do the routine. Somebody was talking about how the service even went, how it was very short. We didn't have to
yeah.
do so much
So much.
and all of
We
that.
didn't waste time.
Time,
It
we were
was
very conscious of time,
straight to the
making sure
point,
that
on point.
the priorities we needed to sort out. Our alaga was no.
But the woman tried. The
Whew,
woman really tried. She
I'm
was,
willing to like share
no,
contacts and all of some. You might have to pay for some of these contacts, because these two people were people that we saw how they brought their A game. They brought it with so much zeal. And these are people that we recommend over and over and over again. We had a lot of food. Food was a lot. Not sure Chinese food, Chinese dishes, just a lot of things that we made sure that people enjoyed themselves at the party, right? And some of the other things that were not priority to us, we didn't really invest so much in it. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So if you have questions, we're open to answering your questions and making sure that everybody gets to um know the right things they should know, right? So wedding is expensive, but it's not expensive. I don't know how best to say it, but wedding is very stressful. Wedding planning is stressful, but at the same time, you'll be grateful for the journey. If you need to get a wedding planner to plan your wedding, please, by all means, get a wedding planner. And if you want to plan your wedding yourself, nothing stops you from doing that also. And you can be able to even get resources from people and then just get help from people. Yeah, I hope we've been able to attend to this
Yeah.
well.
All right. We'll see you in the next video. Thank you for